Well, hello there, my friends. It's me, Stu, here for you. And oh my goodness, we are nearly here where we are about to deliver the free membership workshop. And we've had this date on the calendar for over a year because we prepare for this. It is our Super Bowl, so to speak, where we get to show up and deliver and help you, my friends, start your membership journey. And there are so many reasons why you would want to start your membership journey and incorporate membership and subscription and recurring revenue into your business. And in fact, I'm going to take you a little behind the scenes and I'm going to give you the inside scoop on why you should join us live for our free workshop that all starts tomorrow, April 21st. And again, if you haven't signed up, you definitely go to membershipworkshop.com. But here's the thing. I get asked all the time about, memberships. I get asked about subscriptions. I get asked, is it relevant for my market? I get asked, is now a right time? I get asked, how long should I, or should I have an audience of a certain size? I get asked all these questions all the time. And what I want to do, Noella, good to see you, bud. Thanks for bonjour to you as well. Thanks for joining us. But one of the things that I want you to realize is that there's been a number of factors that have been happening in the marketplace that have impacted business in a very positive way for those of us who either have memberships or are thinking about memberships. And I'm going to frame this up in a couple ways. First, what happened 2 years ago when the pandemic hit was everybody was thrown a curveball, right? Like there was a tremendous amount of uncertainty. There was a lot of things happening that, people had never experienced. People weren't sure how things were going to play out. And my heart goes out to everybody who was impacted by the pandemic in some way, right? There's, yes, of course, there was a tremendous amount of inconveniences, right? Whether that's travel that was disrupted or canceled, whether that was surgeries that were, delayed or postponed. There was a lot of health concerns, right? And in fact, there was a lot of really hard times for people who lost family and friends during this time. I've heard many stories where people couldn't even see or say goodbye to their loved ones. So I'm not in any way, dismissing the seriousness or the heaviness of what has happened during the last 2 years. But with any type of challenge, there's as equal of an opportunity. And in the membership world, what we saw was a massive boom. And let me explain to you why. With a regular, with a brick and mortar type business. And by the way, I just got to give a big shout out to all the brick and mortar business owners who have found some way to navigate through the, confusion, the uncertainty of what has happened during the last 2 years. I've got dear friends who own brick and mortar businesses, whether it's restaurants, whether it's breweries, whether it's retail shops, and their worlds were flipped upside down. Like one of my dear friends, Mike, he's had a restaurant for 12 years and for the last 2 years, he hasn't been able to have his restaurant at full capacity where we are here in Canada. Kind of crazy, right? Like who would have thought? And he's done it and he's navigated it with courage and determination and persistence, and shout out to all of the brick and mortar business owners. But see, in the online world, we didn't experience these kinds of disruptions. And in fact, we saw the opposite happen, especially for those of us with memberships and subscriptions, because a number of factors. Number one, first and foremost, more people weren't commuting, traveling, etc. So all of a sudden, there's this huge populace who now have all these extra hours available to them. I was speaking with somebody from our community who was talking about how they had members who and they relayed one specific story, how a member who joined their membership, and their membership was on learning a new language, and specifically through the Bible. So it was like super niche. But what they shared was that one of their members said, before they had an hour-long commute to work and an hour-long commute back from work. And then all of a sudden, they didn't have this anymore. And now they had 2 hours a day at their disposal, which is 10 hours a week that they didn't have before. And this member who joined the membership was relaying and saying to them, like, one of the main reasons that I joined the membership was I was thinking about it. But, all of a sudden I got 10 hours a week and I wanted to be productive. And there was actually research that came out of the UK that validated this, that going into the pandemic, they surveyed thousands of people. This was in the UK. And there was I think it was 61% of the people said that they wanted to use this time to better themselves. And this was a big reason that we saw a boom in memberships. Second big reason was because we were forced to communicate primarily online. There was this huge influx of people who were forced to learn how to navigate the online space. So what that meant was Zoom, as an example, went from tens of millions of users to hundreds of millions of users in a span of a couple months. That's a lot of people who are now navigating the online space and getting experience and exposure to what it's like to communicate and to learn online. And then the third factor in what has contributed to this boom that we have seen came from a recent study. This was research that came out of Canada, and they were asking people, post-pandemic, I say post-pandemic, we're not, I don't know if we're finished yet, but we are where we are, right? 2 years later, right? And they were asking them how they felt about their lives now versus 2 years ago. The overall sentiment was actually negative. Most people felt like there's more division now between family, friends, colleagues, etc., that was caused by views on the pandemic, et cetera, et cetera. There was a lot of disruption, as we've talked about, and a lot of heartache in many cases, right? And so overall, people were actually pretty negative. But there was one line that caught my attention. That's what I want to relay to you here today. And it said here, it said the survey also suggested that the pandemic has made most reevaluate their priorities, with just over 80% saying that it has made them reflect on what is really important in their lives. And just under half said that they have made significant positive lifestyle changes. This is a very important insight for all of us. Why? Because we see it in our communities. We serve tens of thousands of business owners who have memberships, and we see it. People who before may have had an interest in a passion or hobby, may have had an interest in learning a skill, may have had an interest in, training or bettering themselves in some way, but it was always getting pushed to the back burner, right? It was always a nice to have, I'll get to that when I have time. Well, during the pandemic, what happened was those priorities went from the back burner to the forefront. And people were finally saying to themselves, no, now is the time when I am going to do this. Now is the time when I'm going to pursue this passion. Now is the time when I'm going to learn how to paint. Now is the time when I'm going to learn how to play the guitar. Now is the time when I'm going to train my dog. Now is the time when I'm going to fix my relationship. Or in some cases, the pandemic made it very clear that the relationship they were in wasn't the right one. And now is the time that I am going to pursue other venues in my life or other relationships in my life. So it brought a lot of these back burner priorities that weren't really priorities to the forefront. And now people started putting themselves and these priorities front and center in their lives. And this was another big contributing reason why we saw a boom in memberships during the last 2 years. And this is incredibly exciting for all of us, because if you have skills, if you have experience, if you have knowledge in any particular area, now is an amazing time to be able to bring that to the world. And again, I am not at all understating the heaviness that is still happening in the world when it comes to the war in Ukraine. I think of all of my, comrades and friends and so forth that are over in Australia that experienced tremendous flooding over the last. I couldn't imagine, like, homes completely underwater, like absolutely crazy. But in the midst of this, one of the things that you and I need to do is to take leadership and be that light, be that love, be that positivity, and give people that opportunity to pursue those passions, those interests based on what we know, the experience we have, the ways in which we can help and serve so many people. So I'm really excited because tomorrow, April 21st, marks the beginning of our free membership workshop. And every year we have thousands of people come through this workshop. And every year during the live free workshop, we have people that go from a fuzzy idea. Maybe it's not even an idea yet. They're just exploring the possibility, but they're open to it. And they come into the workshop during the free workshop. And not only do they get clear, not only do they get a plan, but they end up actually launching the membership during the free workshop. Like, how amazing is that? When you come into a free workshop, you get clear, you get a plan, and you actually start generating revenue from a membership that was just a fuzzy idea beforehand. That's possible. And I'm holding that space for you starting tomorrow as well. And tomorrow we're going to unpack everything. In fact, if you want me to, our team is prepping. If you want, do you want me to take you on a little tour, like on a little mobile tour to go see what's going on? Because what I want you to know is that our team preps for this. We have prepped in terms of the content. We have prepped in terms of the experience that we're about to create for you. We've prepped in how we're going to deliver and support you during this free workshop. And this is amazing. It is going to be amazing. And it is going to be time well spent. Now, here's why you're going to want to join us live. Okay? Because I know that there's a very real possibility to say, okay, this sounds great, and I'm going to register, and then I'll watch the recordings when I get a chance. I know. But here's what I want you to do. I want you to make this a priority, because first and foremost, I'm going to incentivize you to make it a priority. The reason being is because I know the kind of progress that you will make when you are there live versus when you're watching the recordings when you get a chance, if you get a chance, blah, 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 blah. So the reason is because we've been doing this for a while. This is not our first rodeo. We have been serving and helping tens of thousands of people for the last 6 years with this specific training. And we know what works in helping you get results in the shortest time frame possible. And this is what I was saying. People will launch their memberships during the free workshop starting tomorrow. You can and will be one of them as long as you join us live and participate. Now, the way in which I'm going to incentivize you is each portion of the workshop, we have a super secret segment. Now, I'm not going to tell you when we are going to deliver this, whether it's in the beginning, in the middle, or the end. But we have a super secret segment that will exclusively be taught just for those that are live. And what I can tell you is that this year, starting tomorrow, the first super secret segment is brand new material that I have never taught publicly before, but I have taught it most recently in a couple high-level mastermind groups. And in fact, I taught it as a workshop for a particular mastermind group. And this group had women business owners who all had businesses that were doing 6 figures or higher. So, these are established business owners. And I was walking them through this particular exercise that enables them and will enable you to be able to clearly communicate what you do in such a way that not only do people get it, but that they want it instantly. So if you've ever struggled to be able to communicate the value of what you are providing, and if you've ever struggled with people not understanding it or you've not got the conversions that you've once had, or you've not got the response, or people give you that squirrely eye, like confused, or they're asking a whole bunch of if you've ever experienced that, you must join us tomorrow live, because I'm going to walk you through this super powerful exercise. In fact, when I did it for this private mastermind, I had a couple of volunteers who we were going back and forth, and I'll be doing the same tomorrow. Maybe you could be one of them. And I was going back and forth with them, and I was helping them map this out. And at the end of it, one of the women, as I was reflecting back to her what we had put together, she started crying. And I said to her, I said, "What's going through your mind right now?" And she said, "Stu, I've just never been able to communicate what we do in such a powerful way." And she got emotional because she said, "I know what a difference this is going to make in so many of in her case, her market were teachers, so many of the teachers' lives that we're about to serve." And that is what makes what we're about to do tomorrow during the super secret segment so incredibly powerful. And so it doesn't matter whether you are in the early stages of your business or whether you are more experienced. If you can't clearly communicate the value you provide in a very short, snippy way, then what happens is it creates confusion in the mind. And the way I explain it is like, it's like, when you are on a computer and the computer's working like extra hard, and it's like you get that spinny wheel of death, right? It just keeps spinning, spinning, spinning. Well, that's what happens in people's brains when you try to explain what you do and how you help, but it's not clear and it's not concise. People's brains are spinning. And it doesn't matter what you say thereafter. If you aren't clear right away, their brains are just going to keep trying to figure it out, keep figuring out, and it spins. But if you are clear, it instantly opens up the gateway for whatever you say thereafter. So I'm really excited because tomorrow we're going to walk through a very special process. I'll outline it tomorrow that will equip you with a highly effective way to be able to not only communicate what you do, but communicate it in such a clear, concise way that people instantly want it. And that's just the super secret segment that we'll be doing tomorrow. There's another super secret segment the following night, which has been equally as powerful and exciting as the one I'm going to do tomorrow night. And they build on each other. Each of them are like building blocks that help you generate massive momentum. This is why you want to join us live. Now, of course, I'm going to be teaching a whole lot of amazingness all throughout the workshop. So if you don't join us live, you will get the replay for sure, but you won't get that super secret segment. That's reserved for people that are joining us live. This is why you got to make time to come join us live. It is going to be amazing. Now, come with me. I'm going to give you, hopefully this pans out. And by the way, before I do that, let me just quickly say hello, because I see a whole bunch of you in the comments. Already said hello to Noella. Good to see you, buddy. Somebody just said hello from California. I'm not sure who that is, but Noella made a great point. It's a great time to serve our gifts. Absolutely, my friend. Somebody just said hello from Minnesota. Great to see you. Nathan, good to see you too, buddy. Let's see here. Kelly's in the house. Great to see you, bud. Look at that. Kelly said, I launched 3 businesses during COVID. 2 of them were memberships. Amazing. Great to see you. Danny, great to see you. Wanda said, stop. Now's my time. Yes, Wanda. Yeah, absolutely. Yes. Amy said, I'm excited. I'm excited too, buddy. Great to see you. Bernadette said, I lost my physical location for providing spa services for my clients. I hope this will help. Yes, well, we'll talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow, Bernadette, we will talk about different types of memberships. You'll hear about service-based memberships. That's probably the one that, just based on what you said there, that you'll probably want to pay a little closer attention to for sure. Laura, great to see you. Yes, April 21st, April 21st, 21st. Yes, yes, yes. Kelly just came back. She just said, I launched my first memberships 2 years ago during the live workshop. See, you hear me saying it, but again, Kelly's a great example. Thank you for sharing that, Kelly. But this happened all the time during the free workshop. Okay. So April said here, I'm going to pull up April's big question here. It says, hey, Stu, I signed up for the workshop. I'm wondering, how do we come up with our content pillars as our members' needs change over time? I'm solid in my niche, but I'm aware that my members will go through seasons and their core concerns will change. I lived through this journey myself. Yes, absolutely. In April, we will talk during the free workshop about what do you actually provide in the membership? Like, what content do you provide? And how do you provide it so that it creates high value for your members, but doesn't have you working on a content treadmill? Because nobody wants to work, be stuck on a content treadmill. So it's like that fine balance of like, how do we provide high value that isn't high demand on you and your time? And you're right, your members' needs do and will change over time. And this is one of the reasons, by the way, that I am a huge proponent of launching your membership way before you think you are ready. Because there's a big mistake whereby people overthink, overanalyze, overplan, and they end up preventing themselves from what is one of the biggest opportunities when it comes to memberships. And that is working with a group of founding members for two big reasons. One is to dial in the experience you're looking to create, because it does not matter how much research, how much planning you do ahead of time. You will never truly know how to best serve your people until you're actually working with them. Because as you have identified, April, their needs will change and or maybe completely different than what you think. You may think that what you're explaining and how you're explaining is going to be easy peasy pudding and pie, but that's because it's probably second nature to you. But for people who are inside of your membership, they may be getting stuck in areas that you had no clue about. And this is an opportunity for you and I to be able to step up and be able to serve them in the content that we create. So I'm sharing this because the sooner you get started with your membership, the sooner you can begin dialing in that experience by working with real people. The other second big benefit of getting going sooner rather than later is that you begin to develop your greatest marketing asset, bar none. And that are the stories of the people that you have helped experience progress in their journey. And those stories are your greatest marketing asset. So yes, you can wait and you can wait and you can put it off and you can put it off. Meanwhile, you could have been working with a real group of founding members, getting paid to work with them, getting paid to be able to dial in that experience, getting paid to gather these incredible, powerful stories, and getting paid to prepare yourself for the next launch or opening of that membership, whereby you now have not only the curriculum dialed in, you have the marketing dialed in, you have the stories dialed in. So do not underestimate what is possible in such a short period of time. And we'll talk about this and we're going to break it down in terms of no matter where you are in your journey, what your area of focus should be to maximize your momentum in the next few weeks and months ahead. Amy, that's exciting, buddy. Amy says, my sales page goes live today. I want to hear all about it. Keep me posted. That's exciting. Julie and Molly from New York. Great to see you. Thanks for jumping on. Okay, so somebody just said, I can't get access to the live workshop. Can anyone help me? So make sure you go to this URL, membershipworkshop.com. It all starts tomorrow. Let me show you what we got going on. Come with me. So this is, I'm going to take you here. This is our office. So we got some of the team in here today. Tomorrow it'll be a full house because everybody will be in. Tanya, wave hello. There's Tanya. Let me remove this for a sec. Okay. So this is like the little offices and stuff. But this is Dean, our our producer. Oh, there we go, Dean. And then there's Rick, our marketing director over there. And then in here, oh, there's Will. Say hi, Will. Will leads our product development for our searchy. There's Phil behind the scenes. So this is like command center, control center. This is where I will be broadcasting from tomorrow. So I will be looking at you through that camera right there, and I will see your chat right here on this side. And then this is like, so I have a feed of, what the broadcast is and what's going on. And then down here, this is the iPad. You can see I've been getting very creative. This is the iPad. So I'll be, writing notes in real time, sharing them with you and so forth. And that'll be all broadcast. And then over here, see, we got lights all pinging up because over here is Rebecca. Rebecca.
Hi, everyone.
Is going to be hosting tomorrow. Any thoughts for everybody on the workshop?
Well, considering we've been working on it for a solid year, I would say that you just need to come in, get plugged in, show up, get rid of all distractions, and just fully immerse yourself in the experience because it's going to be out of this world. It is.
It's going to be amazing. And then you can see so there's the boom mic for Bex, and then she's got her own feed here that will be coming. This is her camera, and she can see what's going on here. So this is a little behind the scenes of what will be happening tomorrow. We have been prepping. We've been rehearsing so that we create the best possible experience for you during this free workshop. So bottom line is that if you have not registered yet, then definitely go to membershipworkshop.com. And if you know any other business owner, whether it's a business owner that has a product-based business, a business owner that has a service-based business, certainly any business owner that has a knowledge-based business, whether it is an influencer, somebody selling courses, or has a blog, a podcast, YouTube channel, anybody that is already sharing their knowledge, and anybody who wants to begin sharing their knowledge, tell them to come join us tomorrow, tag them, and say, listen, I think you would really enjoy this workshop and get a ton of value from it. They're going to thank you afterwards. It is going to be an amazing experience. And like I said, you 100% want to join us live because we have a whole bunch of juicy goodies for those that are live, starting with, at the very least, the super secret segment that may be delivered right at the beginning, may be delivered in the middle, may be delivered at the end, but it is a secret segment during each part of the workshop that is reserved only for those that will be joining us live. And each of these secret segments are amazing. They are super, super valuable. And I see a whole bunch of people from all over the world. Like I shout out to Kelly from Mexico, or New Mexico and Cali. Somebody just said hello from Colorado. Hello from Portugal. Amazing. Great to see you. I'm not sure who this is, but somebody just said, I launched a caregiver membership during COVID. Amazing. I'd love to hear all about that as well. Brandy said, how long are the live trainings? Great question, Brandy. So typically the core of it will be about 75 minutes. And then we take a quick little pee break. I gotta refuel, so to speak. And then I come right back and we will be available for questions. So I'm going to be answering questions, and I will answer questions for as long as there are questions. So it may go, I don't know how long it'll go. I'm available until there are no more questions. So Brandy, but the core of it will be about 75 minutes. Tina said that she launched last year during the live workshop as well. This is amazing. I love hearing that. Pia says hi from Denmark. So fun. Thank you for joining us. Yes, Amy, I'm super glad that you are launching. Somebody just said hello from Germany. Holy moly. Okay. Okay, Okay, so this is a great question. I'm not sure who asked it, but somebody said, I will be there tomorrow for the training and excited about it. At this point, I just launched my business. Can I still start a membership when I have a very small following? Yes, absolutely. Here's why. There's this myth that you need an audience of tens of thousands or thousands. It's not true. Just a couple hundred people is all you would need. And in fact, Faye over in the UK kind of proved that you didn't even need that. She had 90 people in her audience when she did her founding member launch. And instead of selling it as a monthly membership, in her case, she was looking to generate more revenue up front. So she sold a lifetime subscription for those founding members. And so she generated more revenue up front, 5 figures, in fact, with a teeny tiny audience of 90 people. 90. This is what I'm saying. So it's less about how big is your audience. It's more about creating momentum quickly. And we're going to absolutely walk you through that process. And this is what I want to hold space for you. Because a lot of times people will think about, well, what if this doesn't work? What if I don't have this ready? What if I don't have an audience big enough? And they'll go through this gamut of all the things that could prevent them from achieving success. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hold space for you for all the things that will not only help you hit your goals, but help you exceed your goals. Because so often people grossly underestimate what is possible in such a short period of time. And tomorrow we're gonna show you. I'm gonna walk you through the curriculum, but I'm gonna show you example after example after example. And you're gonna see that, like, when you get out of your own way and you just get going, it is amazing what can happen that you have no clue about. Like, I was talking to Heidi Easley earlier this week, and we were reminiscing about her journey. It initially started with, I think it was just over 40 founding members in her membership. And then it grew to a couple hundred. And her goal, her like big, over the moon goal was 500 paying members. Well, she quickly surpassed that. She's over 2,000 plus members. And this is what I'm saying to you, like, hold space. I think of Jennifer Chamberlain. She started with a teeny tiny group, teeny tiny audience, and a teeny tiny founding member group of roughly about 30 members. And after year 1, she had grown that to 100 members. After year 2, that was 200 members. And then year 3, boom, she hit that inflection point and went from 300 plus members to more than 2,000 plus members. Hold space for bigger possibilities than you can even imagine and put on your radar. That's what I'm holding space for. And the reason that I'm confident in holding that space is because I see it every single year. I've worked with thousands and thousands of people in all kinds of different markets. My job is to believe in you more than you may believe in yourself. And that's why I want to encourage you to come and join us tomorrow. So I'm not sure who asked this question about, can I launch a membership with a tiny following? Yes, you 100% can. And we'll talk about that tomorrow. And there are, again, like I said, there are so many examples from Anna Saucier, Wendy Batten, Faye over in the UK. There's tons of examples of people with teeny tiny audiences. And we'll share some of those certainly throughout the workshop. Yeah, Tina was just speaking to this, like talking about how the content changed as the year went along. Yes, absolutely. This is why getting started is far more advantageous than putting it off, planning, waiting, trying to get everything perfect. Listen, there is no perfect time. There is no perfect time. The best time to start is now, because then you maximize the opportunity to learn. I'm not sure who said I'm excited for this, but I'm excited too. High five to you. Bernadette says, what time does it start? It starts at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you'll be able to jump on a little bit early. I recommend jumping on a little bit early, so you just get yourself kind of situated and so forth. And we will begin the feed about the feed will be open about a half an hour beforehand. Becky will go live about 15 minutes beforehand, and then I'll be live the top of the hour. So definitely jump on a little bit early and get yourself all locked and loaded. Let's see here. Yes, big up to Will and Searchy. I'll give him a shout when I head on back. Nathan said, I'm launching my founding member launch on May 28th via virtual event. Nervous and excited. Love it, buddy. That's exciting. Super pumped for you. Thanks, Loria. You appreciate you, buddy. You've been certainly a huge help in guiding us when it comes to our video setup. And by the way, I always get asked the question like, Stu, there's a lot of free content available online. Why would anybody join my paid membership? Well, I can tell you that I joined Loria's paid membership at livestreamingpros.com because I was looking to set up my home video studio, and I went online and I started watching all these videos on YouTube. I must have spent legit like hours, and I was writing down all the equipment that they recommended. I was writing down like all the tips that they recommended as far as like the camera angles, the setup, the lighting, the this, the that, but at the end of it, I was still like, but what do I do? Because everybody had like different perspectives. Everybody was using different equipment. They had different setups. And then I found like some of them, like I liked, that they had this element available. Some of them I liked that they had that element available. But then how do those things connect? Like it was, by the end, I was more confused than when I started. And so I went on Facebook and I said, I'm looking to set up my home video studio. And I have done hours and hours of research on this, and I am no closer to making that happen. Who do you recommend I speak to? And almost right away, Dana Abraham, shout out to Dana Abraham, fellow community member who has multiple memberships, by the way. But Dana said, you need to go and join Live Streaming Pros. She said, because immediately you'll have that guide, you'll have the plan, you'll know exactly what setup you need. And I did. And this is again, a testament to Loria and her team, but it's also an example of how all the free information that's available, it's actually a really good thing when there's tons and tons of free information, because people then are having to try to sift and sort through and find the things that are relevant to them. And it takes time. It's frustrating. It's confusing. What they want is they just want somebody to say, this is the path to the result you're after. And they're willing to pay for it. And that's why they join memberships. So Loria, shout out, because perfect example of that principle in action with my own personal situation. And I'm grateful for what I've learned from her and her team. Aziza said, I'm one of those who's procrastinating for our first membership. Hello from Dubai. Well, Aziza, you need to come and join us, because we will get over that hump, my friend. We're going to get over that hump and we're going to make it happen. Dana said, is this in place of Tribe Live? No, it is not. This is this is our free workshop. We host this free workshop every year. What you're referring to is our paid live event, and this is not it. So it is our free workshop, and this is where we walk you through the process. It is going to be amazing. Yes, I'm not sure. You can see, I can't see who's saying this, but somebody just said, even one bit of information will be worth the time in his free workshop. There's a ton of information here. And let's just talk about this, by the way. Many times we underestimate how valuable a single idea can be. But the truth of the matter, as it relates to memberships and subscriptions, is a single idea is infinitely more valuable. You want to know why? Who can tell me why? Who can tell me why? Because let me put this into perspective. If you get one idea that helps you welcome one new member. Okay. Now I don't know what the price of your membership is or what you anticipate it to be, but let's just for simple math say $50. Okay. So you get one idea that helps you welcome one new member. Now, what may happen is you may think, okay, so that idea, if it helped me get one new member, was worth $50. No, not with memberships, because it's not that first $50. Because with memberships, that member is going to pay you again in month 2, and again in month 3, and again in month 4. And depending on what your lifetime value of your member is, that can be hundreds and sometimes thousands of dollars. Like I had a conversation with Lisa Kay earlier in the week, and she was saying that in her membership, and she has a very good retention, her $30 a month membership, in the beginning, she had a $300 lifetime value. Now, fast forward 2 more years, and that lifetime value has gone from $300 to over $500. Now, that's if one idea helped her welcome one new member, it's not worth $30, it's worth 500 plus because of the compounding nature of memberships. But let's just say that that idea helps you welcome more than one member. Do you see how it begins to compound? This is the value of ideas. And this is the value of ideas specifically for memberships. And this is why investing time to be able to absorb what we're going to share tomorrow, and most importantly, put it into action, can be tremendously valuable for both somebody who's at the beginning stage of their journey, but also somebody who has established memberships. Because again, if you've got an established membership, one idea from the workshop, you know how that would have an immediate compounding effect. And this is just us talking right now about ideas to welcome new members, but equally the ideas to save members and to increase retention are equally as valuable. In fact, I would dare say even more valuable, because a lot of times people who do not have experience in the membership world only focus on getting new members in. But the truth of the matter is the real profitability of a membership comes in keeping members happy and paying month after month after month. So if you've ever heard the myth that, people only stay in a membership for 3 to 4 months, that is clearly coming from somebody who either doesn't have proper training or a proper retention plan in place or experience with memberships. Because our community don't see members staying for a few months. They see them staying for years. And this is the difference of having a proper retention plan in place. And yes, we will talk about retention during one of the workshops. And this is why this workshop is so valuable. And it's free. Have I stated that? Like, it is free. The thing that's going to cost you is time. And I get it. Our friends over in Australia, it is going to be early morning, but it will be well worth it. In fact, I know a whole lot of Aussies who are going to be attending live and have made it a commitment to be there live. It'll be like 5 a.m. for them, Sydney time. But they're going to be there live before the family's up, before the kids are up, before the day starts. They're going to have a massive jump start to their day because they're making it a priority. And that's what I'm saying and suggesting to you. Join us live. It is going to be amazing. Oh my goodness, look at everybody coming in from Lockport, New York, Prince Edward Island. Shout out to my fellow Canucks. I love seeing everybody coming in from all over the place. From Greece. Oh, wow. Look at everybody from all over the world. Love it. Okay. So tomorrow, it is 8 p.m. for the UKers. Yes, 8 p.m. Oh, Sarah Williams in the house. Good to see you. Sarah's story is amazing. The lovely and amazing Kimberly McCormick. She has a big place in my heart, that lady. I love her to bits. Great to see you all. Okay, So with that, friends, tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, mark it down on your calendar. Commit to being there live. Go and tell 1 or 2 other people that you know who could benefit from adding recurring revenue to their business. Go and tell 1 or 2 other people who you know are tremendously talented in some area that could share that with others in the form of a membership, because memberships transform lives. It's not about just the recurring revenue that's going to happen for you as the business owner. That's amazing. That's incredible. But it's what that membership is going to make possible for you and your business in having that stability and that predictability, and what it's going to make possible for your members that you get to serve and the ripple effect. Definitely come and join us live. Denise just asked, will it be recorded? Denise, you know, my friend, it is going to be recorded. But as I stated earlier, maybe you're just jumping on. You 100% will want to be there live, because I will be teaching a super secret segment. Might be in the beginning, might be in the middle, might be at the end. I will be teaching a super secret segment that will only be available for those that are live. And the reason I'm incentivizing you to be there live is because it is inevitable that you will experience far more progress, far more momentum in joining us live than you ever will watching the recordings by yourself. Because you'll be engaging and you'll be more engaged. And when you're more engaged, you're far more likely going to put what we're teaching into action versus passively listening to the recordings and someday, one day, getting to it down the road. I'm not into someday, one day. I'm into taking action on it today. And you're going to see, and I hope it's you, Denise, that there will be people who will be coming in with a fuzzy idea for a membership, not clear on what it is exactly, what they're going to be providing, or how they're going to structure it. Coming in with that fuzzy idea, getting crystal clear, having a plan, and even launching during the free workshop. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. And so I hope it will happen for you too. Come join us. It's going to be amazing. I'll see you tomorrow, my friends. Membershipworkshop.com, 3 p.m. Eastern. Mark it down. Tell everybody you know. We'll talk soon. Bye-bye.